I never planned to become the person people talk about in airport lounges or comment sections online. Honestly, I was just trying to get through one exhausting night, keep my kid calm, and survive another reminder that some people look at you and decide your value before you ever open your mouth. But that night taught me something I can't unlearn now. Sometimes, the moment you're pushed the hardest is the moment you finally stand up, and when you do, the whole room feels it. Let me take you back. It was close to midnight at Clearwater International Airport, the kind of hour where everything feels slightly unreal. Fluorescent lights buzzing, tired travelers snapping at each other over nothing. Coffee that tasted like regret. I was sitting near the back of the terminal with my daughter Maya. She was 9 then. Small for her age, oversized jacket sneakers that had seen better days. She was reading not a comic book, not a tablet. A sign language guide dog-eared and highlighted like it mattered. Because it did. We were flying home after my father's funeral. I hadn't cried at the airport, didn't have the energy. Grief had settled into me like a dull ache instead of tears. Maya leaned against me calm in the way kids sometimes are when adults are barely holding it together. That's when I noticed the man. Tall, sharp suit, expensive shoes that never touched puddles. He moved like the world made room for him without asking. His name, I'd later learn, was Victor Hale. Behind him was his son. A little boy named Owen, maybe 7. Shoulders tight, hands moving in quick shapes I recognized instantly. Signing. Fast, nervous. Victor didn't look back once. Maya noticed too. She tugged my sleeve. "Mom," she whispered that boy's signing. "He looks scared." I followed her gaze. Owen's hands kept repeating the same motion. I knew the sign. Fear, or maybe overwhelmed. Or both. I put my hand over Maya's. "Don't stare," I said softly. "Some battles aren't ours." I believed that then. Boarding started. First class went first, of course. Victor passed us without seeing us, not even the way you don't see someone just straight through like we were part of the wall. Owen followed, hands still moving, trying to say something to a man who didn't know how to hear it. Economy came later. We ended up in the last row, middle and aisle. Seats that don't recline. Bathroom nearby. I didn't complain. Maya never did. She buckled in and opened her book again. Through the curtain I could see first class. Wide seats, real glasses, calm voices. Owen sat by the window. Victor opened his laptop. Problem solved, right. The plane took off. Lights dimmed. People settled in. And then the sound started. Not a normal kid noise. Not whining. Not boredom. This was different. Raw. Panicked. Like fear had nowhere to go and just spilled out. Heads turned. Someone muttered, "Seriously?" A flight attendant hurried forward. Maya stiffened. "Mom," she whispered, "that's him." I stood slightly to see past the seats. The curtain was pulled back. I saw Owen curled into himself, pulling at the device behind his ear. A cochlear implant. He ripped it off and threw it. His father grabbed his wrists, saying something Owen couldn't hear. An iPad appeared, then clattered to the floor. Owen started hitting his head against the seat. My chest tightened. Maya touched my arm. "He's terrified," she said. Her voice didn't shake. Mine did. I know I whispered. "Stay here." But she didn't. She unbuckled, stood up, and before I could stop her, she was already moving up the aisle. I followed, heart pounding, knowing exactly how this would look. A tired woman. A kid in worn clothes. Crossing an invisible line. A flight attendant stopped Maya near the curtain. "Sweetie, you can't be here." Maya raised her voice just enough to be heard. "I know sign language. I can help him." Victor turned. He looked at Maya from head to toe. Shoes, jacket, skin. Then he smiled, not kind, not cruel, just dismissive. "We're fine," he said, not to her, to the attendant. "Please take her back to her seat." Maya didn't move. "He's signing that he's scared," she said. "I understand him." Victor laughed. A short, sharp sound. "That's impressive," he said, "but I've paid top specialists for my son. Doctors, therapists. He doesn't need help from a child." I stepped forward then. Sir, I said, keeping my voice calm, my daughter's been around deaf kids her whole life. She might be able to. He cut me off with a raised hand. Ma'am, I know what's best for my son. That's when the man in seat 2A stood up. Older, confident, the kind of guy airlines apologize to. For the love of God, he said, either fix this or let the kid try. Some of us are trying to sleep. Victor snapped back, voice-tight control slipping. Owen flinched even without hearing the words. His crying got worse. The cabin felt like it was holding its breath. Then a woman across the aisle stood up. Elegant, calm, authority without volume. Let the girl try, she said simply. I'm watching a child suffer and an adult protect his pride. Silence. Victor looked at his son, at the flight attendant, at the eyes on him. Something cracked. 2 minutes, he said. That's it? Maya didn't rush. She sat on the floor right there in the first class, making herself small level with Owen. She didn't touch him, didn't speak. She waited. Slowly, Owen peeked out. Maya lifted her hands and signed one word. Hello. His breathing slowed. She signed her name. Then, fear is okay. You're not alone. Owen's hands trembled, then answered. Scared. Loud. Hurt. She nodded. I see you. Then she told him a story with her hands. A small bird lost in a storm. Wind. Thunder. Rain. Owen watched transfixed. The storm passed. The bird found a light. A place to land. Owen laughed. A real laugh. He reached for her hand. Victor stood there frozen. The man who had everything watched a kid in worn sneakers do what he couldn't. His eyes filled. He didn't hide it. When Maya finished, she looked up at Victor. Do you want to learn? She asked. Just a little, so he knows you're listening. Victor knelt. Awkward, uncomfortable. Maya showed him the sign for hello. He copied it wrong. Owen corrected him, smiling. They shared a word, their first. Applause broke out, not loud, not dramatic, just real. Something shifted in that plane. Victor gave up his seat. Sat in the back without a word. Maya stayed with Owen the rest of the flight, telling stories, teaching signs, letting him talk. I watched, heart full and heavy all at once. When we landed, Victor found us in the terminal. I was wrong, he said. No excuses, just truth. I didn't listen. I didn't see. He asked about classes, about learning, about doing better. I told him something my father used to say. It's not too late, but it costs more than money. He nodded. He understood. Maya squeezed my hand as we walked away. She didn't look back. She didn't need to. So here's my question for you. If you'd been on that plane, who would you have been, the one protecting comfort or the one willing to sit on the floor? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Argue with me if you want. Tell me what you've seen, what you've lived, what you believe. Because stories like this don't change anything unless we talk about them.